Hello, we are at the Isle of Wight Steam Railway. We're at Wootton Station. We would have been at Small Brook Junction, but I couldn't work out how to get there on the rail replacement bus, so I took the advice from the station. So this should be the way that we need to do. Got a picnic area / gravel bit at the moment. So that's down to the trains. It is a day of operation, even if it is a bit. It is one of the special days of it's a Halloween special day. I am doing this on a Monday. I have bought a first class ticket out of this, so as you can see the two different prices, slightly better seating. I think in the past first class you used to have the carriage to yourself, but I don't know if that's still a thing. But yeah, so pricing and all that stuff, and this is operation days, so as I say, we're here at the moment, and then there's some other dates around here. I'm not sure when this video is going to go up, so I don't 100% know when this video is probably going to go up, but it's probably going to be sometime in January, so there'll be a while yet before it picks up again, but well, you know, gives people ideas for the future anyway. You can see what this bit of the station is, and this is the information board of the station, which was here between 1876 and 1971, presumably as an actual commuter line. So, talking about the different banks and bricked up areas, and looks when it was rebuilt in 1907. So, it's kind of cool. But yeah, that's what we're going to get. I think I have to look it up and see if it's, because that looks like it's just a station. It doesn't look like there's anything else on there, but I might have a double check to see on the route map to see if there's anything else that needs to be, because there are different bits of things, like, you know, there's like a museum and there's other stuff, so I'll spend my day probably trying to go between all of them. Like, if the trains are working, that's where it would start, and presumably it's starting there now. It's just I couldn't work out a way of getting there, so it's basically between, presumably goes up to the bridge and then back to. But yeah, as I say, I'll put up a proper map I take off their website to say what the route is. But yeah, but it should be a reasonably fun thing. I think it's 5 miles each way, I think, but which seems about right for quite a lot of these kind of railways. None of them are massively long. So railways, saying about how they were used for transporting goods. Small museum tower. Okay, so when complete, the building was a small museum telling the story of goods around Isle of Wight, compact coal yard, and the space couple of wagons will illustrate the importance of traffic. Apologies for the gravel. Rain is really coming down at the moment, so it was doing alright, and now it's decided to come down really hard. Okay, so this is the signal box back in the day. All the signals in there. I used to know at one point what the blue, the red, and the black meant, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Okay, it's just presumably the carriage being moved to the other side. So this is what the first class. I need to get my ticket actually at New Haven because the machine does not work here. So my little crumpled ticket hopefully will work. This is what you get. So, like Southwestern Railway maps, King Cross hotel thing, little carry thing to put your bags on, presumably. There's a little witch's hat up there. And of course there's stuff all over the windows, so, but it is raining really, really badly at the moment, so I don't know if we're going to get particularly anything much on this video, but we'll wait and see. First part of this adventure is go back to Haven Street and actually picking up my ticket, because the ticket machine is not working at all times, so. window, just because of all the amount of rain. It does rock around a little bit. You can't necessarily see because my camera is really good at balancing it, but hopefully you can see a bit of a wobble with that, which is up there. It is pretty dark in here without any of the lights fixtures actually working. I don't think there's actually any bulbs in them. But you know, in a usual day that's probably absolutely fine. And a grey day like this, it's makes it feel a lot later than it actually is. But yeah, it's still a pleasant journey. And you know, we will, as I say, I will show you as much as I can show you. As I say, I just like riding these trains anyway, so even the day is rubbish, to me it's still good because the trains are still running and it's still fun. So as I say, all the facts I pick up on things I will put at the end of the video, and costs and all that stuff, so it's a bit clearer in regards to that. My route is slightly different than I was originally planning, because of course ending up in Wootton instead of where I was supposed to, so that's going to be done from a slightly different order, but that's fine. I'll just add what bus I took to get there. So yeah. I have been on this years ago when things started opening up for COVID again, but I can't actually kind of remember bits and pieces, so it's, you know, new adventure basically for me doing it. Also, I'm a lot less stressed than I was when I started going out after COVID, or after we were allowed to go out after COVID, because COVID still exists, because COVID is basically a cold, so, you know, in its family of stuff, before anyone says anything. But yeah, you know, it's still an infection of that kind of type. So, some buildings, let's see, and I think this is where we need little windshield wipers, just so you can see where we are. I think, let's take this. Where are we? The railway. Okay, so talking about how it's actually quite a small place, has got quite a lot of railway on it. We've got history. Talking about the different locomotives, carriages, stations, and the civil engineers. Seems to be a small video going on in here. and it's off the side of the shop. The yard. Workshop is this way. Talking about the different upholstering and rolling stock and restoration. So current activity, so they're building that, and so they're doing all that work on these ones. It also has a nice explanation of what's everything in the yard, so you can tell what everything is in terms of like bogie carriages and the 41298 and all those kind of things. Just trying to remember what else is around here. It's raining a lot and it's trying to work out what I'm doing. I think there's a cafe on the other side, so I might go and have a look at that and see if there's anything around there. I think there's a couple of people dressed up as wizards at the moment, and I think music is playing, but I'm not sure if it always plays music or it's just playing music because it's Halloween or because it's... Have a look, because we can cross over, because right, so playground. Okay, so there's broomstick and wonder making for the people that you meet are doing this. Odd random bits of creepy music, but not very much. I don't think... to transport. Whatever was going through is coming through. open, but it's closed. So, well, at least we've seen the building. I mean, the door is open, but I don't want to go in, but I'm not allowed to. So, there is this, it's kind of interactive, it has lots of interesting stuff about the trains as they went along, but as I say, I don't think it's open, so let's go back. Second, the rain has stopped, so everything's dripping still, but I can actually walk around and it not be completely flustered.
Years of railways on the Isle of Wight.
Absolutely full. It was so full that we had to stop outside the station to make sure everybody moved back before we came in. Whilst we were at Newport trying to restore the Steve site, everybody was really taking us seriously. Once we achieved the move to
Ooh, proper big old lights in there. Some dress up guard stuff. Some witches. Bit of an inside of one of the couches. Luggage I've got. and seemingly like lots of things on the Isle of Wight, a lot of stuff was taken from the mainland, so in terms of buses or the Island Line, and all these things were taken mostly from London, from what I can tell, and then sent over here. So you very much can tell the kind of old formation of trains, really. It's like, I don't think they moved the seating arrangement that much, as much as, but yeah. So this is where it goes up to. I mean, someone will probably tell me, no, this is how they've moved everything around, but I think this is reasonably, how it was, really.
Which included new trains. On the 3rd of January 2021, this train was withdrawn. The new trains were built using retired 1978 District Line cars. The popularity of the pier itself continued to grow, and the pier's original wooden pilings were replaced in cast iron. The trams were full of tourists.
It's a little bit like, sitting down on an old sofa, when they just kind of all sink into each other. You expect it to start and then just keep going. But, I've been in a lot worse seats on modern trains, so, these are quite comfortable. As I say, it feels like a sofa. And, just presumably changing the loco over so it goes the direction they need it to go in. So probably won't see that much difference in things, but it's about just having a chill, isn't it, and relaxing out. And as I say, first class you should, as far as I can tell, be travelling on your own unless there's millions of people, where there are people about, and there've people going out with their kids and things, but there's not as many as there could be, probably because of the weather as much as anything, but it's reasonably chilled at the moment. Then of course as it gets later on it might be, but I think the weather is going to be pretty appalling all day, so I've only got a few hours of this, and then I see what's a small brook if there's anything, and then me to work out getting back to Ride. I mean, one thing you say about this is, okay, I'm wet from the rain and all that stuff, but I'm actually not cold in this as it moves. So it's actually reasonably well insulated, I suppose.
And for those of you who fancy dress costumes, make sure you're at your guest bar at 1:30 in the bar.
From a small break in the day, middle of the day, around lunchtime, you could just sit on these trains all day and go backwards and forwards if you wanted to. As I say, it's enjoyable. It's, to me, as much as it's a bit bouncy and a bit kind of rocking, it's actually not too bad. As I say, this kind of movement rocks me to sleep a lot of the time, so I'm perfectly happy in this little environment. But yeah, it's not as I say, it's not the longest steam train route in the world, but none of them are particularly long from what I remember, or at least, a value that I can afford. There's probably are a lot longer steam trains journeys, but I can't really do the Orient Express or any of those things unless I get serious more cash involved. But this stuff is fun anyway. But yeah, I think this is very much a worth experience. If you are in the Isle of Wight or decide to go to the Isle of Wight, definitely check this out.
Going up to the other end.
Well, that was the Isle of Wight Steam Railway. I enjoyed the experience. As I say, you can sit on all day. The last train I got on this way back to Wotton, I did have to sit with other people, but you know. But overall, the experience is good. I think it's pretty worthwhile, as you can ride all day. The food is reasonable, a little bit expensive, but not too bad. I'll do a proper wrap up when it's not pouring down with rain on top of me, or at least a written write up probably. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed the video. And see you on the next one. Hopefully it'll be less rainy, but who knows.